Hey guys! Welcome back to another episode of Wine and Whispers. This episode is going to be a little bit of a Q&A. Mostly me doing the Qing and she doing the Aing.
We're going to flip it one day and I'm going to do the Q and she's going to do the Aing.
No time soon. Does that sound wrong? Aing? Anyway.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Just a Qing and Aing?
We just made our own colloquium term.
Okay, I like it. We're not even going to tell you what it is. You're going to figure it out as we go.
Just so you guys know, this is blind reaction. I have no clue what she's about to ask me.
Ready? Let's uncork and unwine. So Denise, I'm ready. Listen, I'm ready, y'all.
There's no more in my cup. It's empty.
Oh, I got a smidge. Okay. You probably needed some. I'm sorry. What was your first thought when you found out you were going to be a mama?
Ooh, right off the bat.
I hit him. Hard hit him. I could have been a reporter. Investigative reporter.
I thought it was a freaking joke.
You lying.
I did. I thought it was a joke because Andre and I had recently just gotten engaged.
Oh, shit. I did know this.
We were recently engaged, and I thought I was sick. I thought my allergies were acting up, so I said, okay, let me go to the doctor, get some allergy medicine, whatever. My regular doctor wasn't there, and I saw some other doctor, and she thought she took culture, thought I had strep, everything like that.
Strep?
Oh, and gave me 850 milligrams of amoxicillin to take because she thought I had strep.
Can you take that when you're pregnant?
Called me 2 days later. You don't have strep. Stop taking that. Come back in.
Oh.
Come back in.
Oh, so they did blood work on you?
I guess. No, they didn't do anything on me yet. She was just like, come back in. Came back in, saw my regular doctor.
Oh.
My regular doctor, within the first 2 seconds of seeing her, asked the question. She was like, do you think you're pregnant? I'm like, no. She's like, you're sexually active, though.
Did you laugh?
And no. I was like, no. She's like, you're sexually active, though. I was like, yeah. She was like, so you didn't take a test? I was like, no. So she didn't test me for any of the stuff that the first doctor did. She just made me take a pregnancy test.
She made you pee on a stick?
She made me pee on a stick. 3 minutes later, I'm sitting in her office. Her nurse comes, two pink lines.
You was pregnant.
I was pregnant. I was like, in shock. She was like, what? You're shocked? So, no, I was like, and my mind was trying to wrap around it, right? Because like I had a nice job.
Okay.
And I had a nice setup. I had gotten engaged, got fired.
After you got engaged?
After I got engaged, got fired, was planning a wedding, moved back home.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I moved back home to find out he and I weren't living together. So he was living at home and I was living at home.
And he was in Jersey.
He was in Jersey. I was in New York. And I'm finding out I'm pregnant. Mind you, I literally graduated with my master's, lost my job, just started working at a doctor's office, was engaged, was newly engaged.
How new engaged were you?
He proposed to me in like August. I lost the job in like December.
Oh, you new engaged.
And then I found out I was pregnant in April.
Oh, my birthday month.
Yeah.
Yay.
So everything, boom, boom. Literally weeks after my birthday.
Literally
weeks after my birthday.
Wait, so when did you lost your job?
December.
When you got engaged in August.
Yeah.
Lost your job in December.
Yeah.
Had your birthday. And then was pregnant.
When did
you start the doctor's office?
I started the doctor's office in like January and got my diploma in January. So it was mailed in. It was because I graduated in May. So took the new job in August.
Got fired
in December. So I didn't even do I did like under 6 months at this new job.
So you couldn't file unemployment?
I did because my previous employer had something for me.
Okay.
So I was on unemployment for about a month until like the first check kicked in.
Okay.
With the doctor's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you thought that this doctor was lying. He was like, no, I'm not.
What are you talking about?
I'm not pregnant.
Yeah. So, yeah. I was just, what? And so the question everyone asked me was like, so what are you going to do with the baby? How are you going to get married? And I'm like, well, good thing we planned for a 2-year engagement.
You did?
We did plan for it. We knew we wanted to save our money properly.
And wait, okay.
And yeah, so we had a 2-year engagement. And she was there. She was at the wedding. I have wedding pictures holding her, my eldest.
And she was 2. No.
She was not even. She was 7 months. So from December to December.
Yeah. Okay, I had to do the math in my brain real quick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Okay. All right. Next question. It's like 21 questions, and I don't got to answer these questions because it don't affect me, and I love it. And
you don't like the attention on you.
I don't. And then I get to learn about her, and I love this for me.
Well, parenting is ghetto, and there's
shit.
It is. Parenting is ghetto. There's ups and downs to parenting, so
have kids, they say.
I have no problem sharing, so you can understand the joys that come with it. And sometimes, yes, the realness that comes with it.
Joys, they say.
There's joys. There's joy.
But
I have a moving up ceremony on Friday. That is joy.
That is joyful.
That's so getting cute. FaceTimed and the little one sitting on top of my husband's shoulder to be able to see her big sister perform. Those are joys.
That's what happened?
That's what happened. I got FaceTimed that way.
I missed that.
Yeah, they FaceTime me. I see his face. I see her little face looking out to the crowd because she's on his shoulders. And then the camera flips and all I see is big sister dancing. So those are joys.
That is a joy.
There's plenty of joys.
Okay, I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
We're going to convince her to the joys.
No, we're not. Anyway, so what's been your biggest parenting challenge? I'm just like, I should be a reporter. Second Life.
So I had this conversation both with my sister and my therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the type of person, there's 2 ways that people handle trauma, right? You have the people who spiral down and it's detrimental to them. And then you have the people who try to overachieve. Can you guess which one I am? Overachiever. I'm the overachiever, right? So I feel like every little thing that I've come to tackle in life, I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to master it. You can't do that with parenthood.
There's no such thing because every child is different.
You cannot do it with parenthood. And it annoys me to no end that when I start thinking I'm getting it together, there's a new challenge added.
Yeah, because then the kids change too.
Yeah. It's like level up, buckle up.
Level up. Okay. Sorry.
So that's my parenting challenge.
Okay. So then thinking about all of the parenting challenges, the joys, the loveliness, the roadblocks, what's one thing that you wish you knew before going into being a mom? You know you have a knot in your necklace? I just noticed.
Yeah, I do. I can't get it out. This is not the original necklace. That one broke.
Sorry. Squirrel.
Let me sit on this for a second.
Okay.
The Jeopardy music play right here. You to some extent,
okay,
you are guiding another person into becoming their own, but you're also managing them.
The little person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're guiding them to be able to have a voice, to have a sense of self-identity.
Okay.
But you're also managing them. Like, don't do that. Or this isn't how you do things. And they challenge you. And it's like, why are you not listening to what I'm saying? I said, don't do that, or here's a suggestion. And you're politely saying a suggestion, even though it's like, you need to do this. And then you have to turn around and say, okay, now I'm not asking, I'm telling. Oh. So it's like a level of managing, but also like, I want you to be yourself. So it's like, and I get it, how it can be conflicting for a child to be like, you want me to be my own, but then you want to tell me how to do it. That part.
Okay. So you have 2 kids. We can learn this about you. What were you going to say?
They're polar ends of the spectrum.
That's not what I was going to ask. I know that about them. And I think we all know that. How are your pregnancies different? Or were they different?
They were.
In a good or bad way?
I had and I think, and I don't think it's the first time it's been said. People said that sometimes the personality the child takes on is indicative of your pregnancy.
Okay, explain.
I was way more hypersensitive, anxious.
Second pregnancy.
First pregnancy. Second pregnancy, I was way more laid back.
Okay.
I was calmer. And if you look at my kids, the first one...
She overthinks.
Lord bless my soul. She gets anxious very easily.
Because she overthinks.
She's very in your face, very loud.
She is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it as negative things towards my kids. It is who she is.
That's her personality.
But this is where I say you got to manage, like, hey, social cues. Okay.
Not the social cues.
Yeah. Whereas the little one has always been...
She feels it out.
She fills out her environment before she lets you know who she is.
She didn't talk to me for a year.
Yeah. She didn't talk to a lot of people. She truly had side eye.
She was good at it.
So yeah, I would say that I was way more relaxed and way calmer for my second pregnancy. I also had postpartum depression with my second pregnancy.
Really?
And I did not have it with my first. But I also tried to beat somebody up in my first pregnancy.
Who did you beat up in your first pregnancy? Who did you try to beat up in your first... Did you try to beat up the husband?
No.
Who did you try to beat up?
So my mother was a foster mom.
Oh,
And her foster child, I guess, was having an episode. A majority of the foster children she had were on the spectrum or had some challenges. And this particular one was in a mood because my mother denied her to leave the house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to go defend my mother, and I yoked her up. Yes.
Yep.
All 38 weeks of me.
If you don't know
what... I was 2 weeks to delivery. All 38 weeks of me.
Uh-huh.
Went to yoke up. My mother tried to pry me off. I pushed her. Didn't know my own strength, but I pushed her. And then thought I peed myself. Come to find out, it was fluid that started to leak slowly from the amniotic fluid. And then that was a Monday, and then went into labor, or was induced labor because my amniotic fluid was low on Wednesday, and she was here Thursday. That all happened in the same week. So, yeah. And I think I mentioned the postpartum one in a previous episode.
I feel like you did too.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very interesting. Not you yoke somebody up. Okay. So, have you had mom guilt before?
Oh,
wait. Can you tell me what mom guilt is? I've heard the term. I don't think I fully understand it.
Let me hear what you think it is first.
I feel like mom guilt is when you feel bad that you couldn't cook dinner. Because you feel that as a mom, you should be doing and hitting these check mark things to make you what an ideal and perfect mom is. And you couldn't do it. So now you feel bad because you've given them store-bought pizza. Because you didn't hit the check marks.
You aren't far. You're in that realm. So, yes. I mom guilt every day.
Okay, but what is mom?
Every day. So, essentially, it's what you're saying. So, like, situations where, like, you feel you need to show up in these certain instances, but other things are barriers, or you have other things that have to be a priority, and showing up in that particular instance is not necessarily a priority. I'm not going to say that it's not a priority in the sense where you don't need to do it with your kids, but like, do I go to work and make sure I get this money for this special event that's at 7:00 at night when I could be at home doing bath time and bedtime?
Okay.
So and it shows up for people differently in terms of what they deem being present for their kids are for. Or you can mom guilt in terms of the way, I chose intentionally to discipline my children this way, but here comes the seasoned parents telling you, no, you should have did it this way. And you're not questioning yourself like, okay, am I a horrible parent?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, and like I said, it could be different for different people, but I live in mom guilt a lot, especially, with breaking generational ways of parenting.
Yeah, that part.
It can be a little bit difficult.
Okay. So You talked about that you've experienced it, so then how do you manage it? Like, how do you get over the feeling of mom guilt? Or do you get over the feeling of mom guilt?
Sometimes I talk it out with Dre.
Okay.
And get his idea, like, hey, was I wrong for thinking, or was I wrong for handling it this way, or approaching it this way?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get his feedback. Sometimes his feedback is like, okay, there's honesty in there. I don't want to hear it, but there's honesty in there.
Okay.
And other times it's like, okay, I'm not crazy. Or I reach out to other moms or reach out to non-moms and say, hey, this is what happened. You know, am I crazy? Am I out of pocket? Like, kind of feeling. And
yeah.
And I am my therapist.
Do you think that these are just questions coming off the cuff now?
Okay.
Do you think that Dre has dad guilt? Is dad guilt a thing?
I don't think they do.
Really?
Because a lot of the times, and I get mad at him, and he knows it because I say it to him all the time. I think because there's a lot of times, you know, the way things are said, it's almost like he's figured it out. Well, you got to figure it out yourself.
Okay.
And I hate it when he says that. Because it's like, well, I'm telling you I don't have it, and I'm asking you to help me to figure it out. You know?
And you know,
nope, she can wait. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things where I think they don't overthink it the way we do.
You don't think so?
I don't think they do. I think correction. I don't think they dad guilt. They may overthink it, but they don't allow their self to go in the space of shame. Does that make sense?
No. Because I feel like
I think they just see it as, okay, that didn't go well. Next time, let me try it this way. But they don't overthink it. Like they don't put themselves in the box of like, damn, I jacked up, and they overanalyze it like the way a mom would.
They just say, okay, this didn't go, I'm gonna do it this way. This didn't go, I'm gonna do it this way. Well, that didn't work, I'm gonna do it this way.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm gonna sit on it and think and let it stew. Like, damn, I really jacked up this instance or situation.
They're not thinking of the big picture. They're thinking of right now, where a mom is going to be like, how is that going to affect them 5 years from now?
Yeah.
That's how they should think.
I mean, based on what I have experienced, yeah. I don't see that.
But that's how they should think. I guess in my brain, how I'm thinking about it is, you are the role model for your child. And so the way that you raise them, discipline them, talk to them, show up in front of them, talk to the other parent, is how they are then going to look for a relationship later in life.
Right.
So the thing that you did now is going to affect them 5 years from now.
And that's what I overanalyze and think.
But you think that as the dad, not all dads, but like majority dads don't have that dad guilt because they're just thinking about,
I handled it, it's done, it's over with.
What's my next thing? I don't want to.
Because sometimes I have to, you know, based on what the situation, I have to say, hey, you know, keep in mind how we interact is a reflection of, like we said, what they think a relationship is supposed to look like, what they feel their partner should be giving them in a relationship, what they feel the relationship should feel like in terms of the support they get from us. So sometimes having to say that lets me think that they're not thinking about it in the same capacity. Or giving that reminder of, hey, these are some things to think about. I feel like this thing is cloudy. It is cloudy. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That makes me upset. I just want you to know. Because I feel like you guys should be going through the trenches together. And I feel like in that kind of instance, you're digging through this trench and you're muddling through, and they'd be like, all right, I'm going to see you later. I'm going to take the high road and walk on this paved road for a minute, and I'll come down there next time we have trouble.
Does that happen? Yes. Does it happen every time? No.
Okay.
There are times, and it took us time to get to a space of tap in your turn.
Oh, was it always you?
For a long time it was, and I would come back and I would mom guilt, because it's just like, I just finished screaming my lungs out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now all I could think about is how I just made her feel.
Okay.
And you were just sitting back and you were like, you were handling it.
So I'm not doing nothing.
Right. So now we've come to a rhythm where if the other one realizes the other one is getting a little overwhelmed or a little overstimulated or a little more frustrated.
The little one?
No, as the adults.
Oh, okay.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna tap in, because you need to step back, because now it's more of a reactive
than proactive.
Right. So stepping and tapping in helps that person to go blow off the steam somewhere else. And so the other one can talk rationally.
And not irrationally and blowing just steam out the ears.
Because let's think about it. You, regardless if you're talking to a kid or not talking to a kid, there's a level of you feeling like your character is being attacked. So you just go into defensive mode. So now you're not really parenting. You're just screaming because you feel like the child is challenging you. So you're going to
which they may be.
And they will. So when you're responding off of like, now I'm going to challenge you because you think you're grown, right? You're not disciplining. You're challenging like that's if it's another stranger challenging your character.
Right.
So having someone, and that's why it's a little hard when you're a single parent, right? Because you don't have somebody to help you offload
take a step back. I have a question. Mm-hmm. Because you said single parent. Mm-hmm. Okay. Have you ever, I feel like we've talked about it maybe. It's, what is it?
Yes, I was a married single mom for a while.
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. So, how did you get out of being a married single mom?
Therapy.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes. I had to.
Did he know?
No.
In the moment, he had no idea.
No. And it was one of those things where, well, why didn't you know? You should know. You should have just jumped in and asked, or jumped in and did it without having to ask. And it's also one of those things where I have to vocalize and say, hey, I need to delegate. Mentally, I need to delegate.
We don't know how to delegate.
Or I also have to vocally and say, hey, I am not at the capacity to do this. I need you to step in, excuse me, and do this for me. Or help me with this. And so now we are at a space where logistically there's more of a communication.
Okay, I love that.
Of, hey, this is going down this week, this month. I'm not available to do it. I'm available to do this. What can you do? What you cannot do? So that this way, if neither one of us could do it, we can now tap into our village.
Okay. That makes me happy. Okay. So tell me, we've talked a lot about the roadblocks and parenting, married single mom. What's the biggest joy you've had in parenthood? Can you identify one? Are there too many?
There's a lot of them. I love that I still get snuggles. Mm-hmm. I know they reach a certain point, they no longer want to snuggle. Nope. So I take all the snuggles that I can. And I mentioned it before. We co-sleep. Mm-hmm. I'll take all the co-sleeping I can because I know there's a day that it's going to stop, and it stopped for one, it hasn't stopped for the other one.
Not yet.
So I do enjoy that because it's, we don't get to see each other because everyone's running around. They're in school, we're at work. So when we're home, it's like, Mom,
hi, Mom,
little ones. So I definitely enjoy that. And then it's seeing them develop their identity. Okay. Develop their personality, and the transformation of that begins at as early as maybe 16 to 18 months.
Seriously?
They may not vocally say a lot.
That's what the side eye came in.
Right. They may not vocally say that, but you can feel the aura.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy in them. Both my kids are goofy.
Yes, I know.
And from the time they were both 16 months or 18 months, they were goofy.
See, I know that now. That little one. When I tell you she didn't want to say hi to me, she would just look at me.
It's not just you.
It's not just me. I just felt judged. She would just look at me. She wouldn't say nothing. And I remember you took dance class and she'd be sitting in a carrier. She wouldn't say a word, but she'd be like this. Mm.
side eye, looking at everybody like,
not making a face.
Don't come near me.
Wouldn't smile.
Don't even try it.
I could be like, hi, baby. And she'd be like, looking me up and down.
It's okay. I got the retribution because, Tiffany's little one. He wanted no parts of me, but that's my boo now, you know?
Shady baby. He was a shady baby at first.
Yeah.
He might still be a shady baby sometimes, but he's cute. We'll keep him around.
We'll keep him around. They grow up to end up just hugging you so hard.
They do. Can't say my name.
It's okay.
It's all right. My name's not that hard.
Makita.
My name is hard, and that's all right.
Makita.
I've accepted it. 2K don't say my name.
What's he call you? Same name?
I feel like he can't pronounce the K, or he doesn't pronounce the T. Like it's cute. It's there.
But that's how those specialty names come about, though.
I don't need a specialty name.
That's how kids give you those specialty names, and you're like, how'd you get that name? Such and such can pronounce my name.
Yeah, that is how it is. Officer Bodie. Anyway, Officer Body. Is there a tradition that you have when you were a kid that you now do with your kids? Or is there a tradition that you wish you brought back, brought forward, brought through?
Yeah. I can give you an answer for both.
Okay.
Tradition I brought in is culturally New Year's Eve. New Year's Day is Haitian Independence Day. A soup. But when you're coming New Year's Eve into New Year's, you take not every Haitian does it, but we do. I grew up, you clean the house. Okay. You come into the new year clean.
Yep, absolutely.
And you take a cleansing bath, like a spiritual cleansing bath. Yep. You move all the negative energy from the past year and start fresh. Those kids, they know. They're like, we're not getting our bath? They know.
They're funny.
They know. We ain't getting our bath. I want my bath.
Right, like I need it now. Right. What be taking so long, Ma?
Right.
They're funny. I can't with them.
The soup, they're like me. They can only get one bowl. There's people who they have to drink it the entire day. Like there's nothing else in the house. I can only give you one bowl. I'm sorry. Maybe that's the American in me.
I don't like soup like that.
Yeah. What I wish was carried through, and I both my mother-in-law, may she rest in peace, and my mother, I joke around about it all the time. They did not practice native tongue with them. And that's how I learned. My grandmother didn't speak English. And then years later, I found out she could. I mean, it wasn't like fluent like how you and I are talking.
No, it don't matter, but she could.
So that's how I learned Creole. And you can say that I could have taught them, but it's like me learning Mandarin with a very heavy English accent and teaching someone else how to speak Mandarin. You can't do that. I understand. Right, because my accent is not authentic. So a lot of the accents and the fluctuation it's not the same. So I can give them a few words here or there, but to fluently speak with them back and forth, that needs to come from someone who was like immersed.
Your mom could have done it?
She technically could still.
It's harder now.
Yeah. Well, no. With the little one, she's still language receptive.
So the little one, yes. The old one, no.
Because listen, in high school, you got to learn a language, don't you?
We failed. You remember what you learned in high school?
Yeah.
You remember your whole language?
Spanish?
Yeah.
I can still do my context because that's how I communicate with my mother-in-law.
I still don't got it.
I did 3 years in high school and a year in college of Spanish.
So, side story. I did 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, freshman, sophomore.
And you don't remember nothing?
Junior. Did I do it senior? I don't think I did it senior.
French?
No, Spanish. 9 years. I also went to Spain and lived there for 2 weeks.
Pero no hablas español?
No.
I also, the advantage I have, you silly. The advantage I have is a lot of terms are similar.
Oh,
because
so,
remember,
okay.
Spanish and French are Latin
based.
Yes. And so Creole has a lot of derivatives from Spain, France, and native African tongues.
So you were able to build off of that and your base knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't got that.
Yeah.
I think now if I sit and I like really sit and I read Spanish, I might get away with it.
Context clues.
Right.
And that's how I did it.
If you want me to speak Spanish, I'm going to Google Translate so fast.
Yeah, I get a little nervous because I can do a quick
I can't do
save my life Spanish. But then they start speaking, really fast. And I'm like, hold the brakes. Because sis can't keep up. I can't. But yes, those would be my two. If I could, what I did bring and what I could bring.
Got you. Okay. I wish that I had a language that I could bring forward. I wish my husband speaks Spanish because he's a full Colombian, but it's all right. We're not going to talk about that.
That's not his fault.
It's not because he's white. I tell him all the time. Okay, another side story. I wasn't supposed to be telling no stories. Side story. My husband.
We're here for it, though.
No, don't do it. My husband's adopted, right? Beautiful. But he's 100% Colombian. I mean, he has other things in him, but he's Colombian.
He did a 23andMe or something like that?
Yeah. Okay. But he's Colombian. Okay. Ultimately, he's Colombian. And he was adopted by two European people. One was Irish and one was... Oh, my brain's leaving me.
Wait, who's his mother or his dad?
His father is Irish.
Okay.
Shoot, what is his mom? It's escaping my brain right now. Whatever. White. Like
Caucasian.
No, white as paper. White. I love them dearly. So he grew up white. He don't put lotion on. He's melanin. He don't put a lick of lotion on. That's how I know he's white. Don't do it to me. You can't have... He makes fun of me. Doesn't make fun of me. But he tells all his friends now, yeah, I married a colored woman. Not colored, but I have a black wife. And I know I have a black wife because there's lotion in every part of my house now. I didn't grow up that way. And it's true. There's a lotion in every part of our house. Why? Because sometimes I feel dry or ashy and I need
just
lotion.
Moisturize. Yes, absolutely.
That's what he says. Yeah, he's like, that's how I know I married a black woman. Because there's lotion. The first time I put a bonnet on, what's a bonnet? He didn't know what a bonnet was. He's white. That's all right. I still love him. He's white. He can't dance.
Well, mine can't either.
He can't. He can't do a bachata.
That's why he never does the father-daughter dance.
He can't. They don't dance. They like do a little two-step.
I said what I said.
Okay. They just be doing a little two-step here and there. All right. Whatever. What's something that your kids have taught you? My nose is itchy. I'm hungry.
I say I love you to them all the time. I didn't get that growing up. I hug them all the time. I say I love you all the time. I say I'm proud of you all the time. Sometimes it reminds me to stop and get into their world with them.
See where they are?
Yeah. Like the other day, I don't think I told you this. The other day, something happened. Nella and I...
Were you butting heads?
No. Okay. She and I were having a conversation about her. Not Pringles, but the other one.
Yes.
And the other one kind of like ghosted her.
Yes.
And so that day, there was so much going on that day that I didn't get a chance to loop back with her and ask her how she felt.
Okay.
So I did something that I've never done with her before and something that my mother's never done with me. I jumped into her bed. I laid down with her and I was like, let's talk about it.
Oh.
So, just being like, the check-ins, like the being present, the letting her know that I may discipline you. I may be tough with you, but I'm on your side. I'm your cheerleader, friend. Mm-hmm. And I've also had conversations with her. I haven't had it with the younger one yet. Letting her know, like, kid, this rodeo, we're both doing it for the first time. And you're going to get a different version of me than your sister gets.
Facts.
And I know you may not understand it right now, but I just need you to know that I'm going to say this over and over again until one day when you wake up and you're like, I appreciate you saying this.
It's going to be a minute.
It's going to be a minute.
As long as you
it's
know.
It's probably going to be when if she chooses to be a mother. Or maybe later on if she, whatever.
It'll be in her 20s.
Yeah, it'll be in her 20s for sure.
20s.
Like, okay, mom, I get this.
Because she's going to see whether she has kids or not.
Yeah.
She's going to see other kids. And she's going to see them do something wild. Something that you told her not to do.
Yeah.
And she's going to be like, oh. It's going to hit. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So, talking about discipline. How do you discipline in your household?
I had to break. I'm still trying to break generational practices.
Which she means try not to beat the picnic with a stick in the back.
Yeah. And, you know, I get the opinions, I get the looks, I get the Snickers, I get the you
not
should.
The Snickers.
I get the everything. I started off that way.
Okay.
And that was like a first true hit of mom guilt when I looked in and I was like, this does not feel good.
Well, it also, I feel like it also doesn't work for everybody, right?
Right. It was
that first one don't work for that.
It really was like a hit to the gut. Like, oh my God, I feel worse
than when I went into it.
Yeah.
Got you.
And so he and I sat down and I was like, I don't want to parent the way our parents parent.
Okay.
I was like, you know,
did his
very similar to my parents
the way? Okay.
Yeah. Our parents similar. It was the 70s and 80s.
So make sure, you know,
and 90s. They parented
the same way.
Okay. So we make a conscious effort, not to say that, you know, every now and then if I have to give you a little reminder that I still have it in me. I'm still Caribbean.
I can still yoke you up. Don't test it.
Mm-hmm. So it's more of I'm not gonna. I won't do as explaining because there's certain things you just don't need to explain to a kid. No is no.
No is a full sentence, baby.
But there are instances where it's just like, okay, I know what's going to get you the most frustrated if I take it away from you, or if I, for lack of a term, handicap you from it.
Yeah.
It's more psychological with my kids.
Okay, I got you.
More psychological. Oh, okay. You don't want to. I think one year something happened. Oh, her behavior-wise, grades, something was happening. Mm-hmm. And we tried to get to the roots of the problem because sometimes that's how bad behavior happens, right?
You gotta get the root.
Get to the root. We got to the root of it, but even though we got to the root of it, we was like, but we asked you had support, you had help, and you chose not to use it.
Oh, girl, that's on you, baby girl.
Right. So we took away the things that brought her joy.
Drawing.
And I'm talking about it was the end of the right. So I think we took away her iPad in early April, and she got it back maybe like the first week of July. Mind you, they end school the first 2 weeks of June. So because every time she kept adding to it.
Oh, so she kept
adding to it. So when she finally got it back, it would be taken away. No, well, that one time she got it back the second week of June. The school ended the second week of June.
She did some mischief.
And then she did something crazy, and within the 2 days of having it,
you took it back.
I was like, listen,
I don't got time for it.
You're the one that's in summer, not me.
Right. You're the one who has all this free time, and you could have been drawing, you could have been creating your art, and you want to act funny.
Yeah. Or go places and do things. I think there was a birthday party she was to go one time. And had already RSVP we were attending. I think it was one of Ray's daughter's birthday parties.
And you said no.
I said no. I sent the gift.
You said I'm not playing these games.
Yeah.
I listened. I'm all for it.
My little one, the look and the look and a yell gets her alone. I don't have to do much after that because she sees what her sister goes through. Sometimes she goes and she could, you know, why didn't
toes that line.
She goes to her sister. Just why didn't you just listen?
She does not do that.
You didn't hear them. Why did you do that? Are you okay?
Are you okay?
First, she'll start off. Are you okay, sissy? Why didn't you just listen to mommy? Why didn't you just listen to daddy?
She's a hot mess.
Yeah, like a hot mess. Bitch, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Oh God! But you are right about that. If you give a tone to that girl and a look, I will never remember. She did something foolish here at the studio, and I was quick, and I said what I had to say.
Her whole face is like,
oh, I thought we wasn't going to be friends no more. And I was like, all right, well, at least you learned.
Yeah.
But her whole face was just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. Well, why'd you do it? Because you know better.
Yeah. Which the mom guilt comes in. I wonder sometimes, and this is me going down that rabbit hole, am I psychologically setting her up that she needs to be a people pleaser? because she sees that when her sister doesn't do something properly, it's a form of displeasement. So it's like, okay, if I don't do it, I'm pleasing you. I'm not going to get yelled at. I go down the rabbit hole. Mom guilt.
That's hard.
I'm telling you, mom guilt. You go down the rabbit.
Because I feel like in that instance,
but can you understand where I
do see where you're coming from. But again, in that instance, you yelling or you disciplining because you set this hard and stop rule, and this child decided to step over that hard and stop rule. There's rules in life. Mm-hmm. We gotta follow the rules in life.
Yeah, but if you're growing up seeing that when your sister goes over that line, and how she's getting disciplined,
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no because I was a baby. And I saw my brother got in trouble. I still broke all the rules. So, I mean, I wasn't a people pleaser, was I? I don't think so. I was quick to say, nah, fam. I don't want to. So, no, I think you're okay.
Okay.
Because I went through it. I'll wait. First off, I went through a phase where I said I was the only child. He was off to college. People be like, do you have any siblings? No. My mom was quick to be like, you have a whole brother. I was like, oh, I do. But he's away right now, so I'm an only child. I was a mess. I was a menace. Anyway. Anywho. Ooh, this is a good one. Hmm? How do you talk to your kids about race and identity? I know this one hits hard.
Yeah.
I know.
I haven't really had the conversation with the little one yet.
Makes sense. She's still itty.
Other than the fact that I had to remind her, you're not white, baby. You're black. You're black. My children they're lighter in tone. But I had to remind.
She's funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because she's not looking at it the way adults are looking at it. She's looking at it as like, nah, you brown like the color in the crayon box.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And this color right here is what I match. Right. And this color says white. Or this color says peach.
So that's how she's looking at it.
So she's peach?
Yeah, so that's how Nella started too. Nella started the same way. And I had to remind her, she's like, but I'm not brown. I said, no, you're not. I said, but brown comes in different shades and you are a different shade of brown right now. Mm-hmm. Right? But my eldest struggles with it a lot because she is lighter toned than most of the kids in her grade.
She don't got the hair like the white kids.
She doesn't have this, and so there's this assumption, because she's Puerto Rican, she's supposed to have this long straight hair or like the long curly hair. Mm-hmm. But because she also has Afro in her, she has a little bit more of a thicker, tighter coil. Mm-hmm. She's embraced it. She loves, she's like, I'm black, blackity black. Right? But it was a struggle.
Of course.
From maybe like 7 to 10.
Oh, so your baby's about to be that age.
Yeah, she's about to go into it where I have to have the conversation with her. But during the pandemic, mm-hmm. George Floyd and Black Lives Matters and everything. So having these conversations, it was forced.
You had to.
It was forced and it was in her face, and I had to have the conversation
with the big one.
And I had to say, I think we watched. What did we watch? We watched Harriet Tubman with Cynthia Erivo. Mm-hmm. And she had questions, and I was like, "Do not feel like you need to ask." What's the other one? It was the other one. That was executive produced by the Obamas on Netflix, and it was like a cartoon. There was something else that came up, and it was talking about race in America.
Okay.
We watched Blackish. Like I did shows Blackish like that with her, so she can be immersed and ask questions.
Yeah.
And I gave it to her as I also have to side note. Mm-hmm. My eldest also has a very adult cognizance.
Girl, does she?
She's an old soul for sure. So you're talking about a kid at 6 or 7
who's like 27,
who was evaluated with the cognizance of a 9-year-old. A 5-year-old? No, she was 5. She was a 5-year-old with the cognizance of a 9-year-old.
And she's so aware.
Very much aware. And it's one of those things where I love that the fact that I can have these conversations. I hate it at the same time. I hate it because she really does a deep dive and she's like, well, what about that?
Yes.
But then what about that?
Yes.
But then what about this?
Girl.
But then what about that? So if that is that, then why is it not that?
Girl.
So sometimes it's like, I know the answers, but I don't know how to put them all together for you.
and to be age appropriate.
Right.
Girl. Let me tell you real quick.
I love it and hate it. I do.
I love and hate it.
Because let me tell you something. The challenge I get, it's like, but you said I couldn't.
Girl. We was doing a Black History Month dance. When I tell you she was diving deep into this Black History song, I was like, baby girl, I know. I'm going to get to it. We going to talk about it. But I need to get this choreo out right now because we got to do it in a week. Yeah. And I need to get it done. I love the questions, but I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Nikita.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember.
Yeah. She was the one in kindergarten. And this is the first go round. That's a whole nother story. The first go round in kindergarten. Because remember, she was forced to take it twice. Right. Not because she was not because she didn't pass intellectually, people.
That ain't it.
But because the Catholic school felt she didn't meet her social milestones. We ain't gonna get into that. Anywho, Andre still has the video of her breaking down.
That don't surprise me.
MLK Day.
That don't surprise me at all.
And explaining to people, this is at that time she was 4 going on 5.
That don't surprise me.
No, she had just turned 5.
She was 4. That don't
no, she just turned 5.
She just turned 5?
Because she started in September at age 4.
Oh, and it was January.
Yeah, okay. So she had just turned 5. And she was like, he stood for people's rights. He stood for what the world is supposed to be. Like, why should I be judged because I'm brown and white or purple? 5. And she stood firm on her stuff.
And she was right.
Yeah. So that's a hard navigation. But I love it. But it's a hard navigation. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to wrap up with this last question.
Okay.
We talked a lot about parenting. We talked a lot about being a mom.
If I come back in another world, no, I want a cat and a dog or 2 dogs.
No, that wasn't
my question. I do not want children.
I got so distracted.
But
you said have kids. Anyway, people say have kids, not Denise.
Because the overachiever in me can't master parenthood.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
That's the only reason.
My question for you, to end all be all, how do you continue to have your identity as Denise? Because you're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, you are a woman, you are an Afro-Caribbean woman. You're a Caribbean woman. I got some things that say my brain. But you're also just Denise.
I think in the last 2 years, I'm slowly coming back to Denise.
Oh, so you lost Denise.
I lost Denise. I was overwhelmed. I was buried deep. Because as a everything. As a everything for everybody else. As a everything for everybody else. And a forgetting about me.
It's not good.
It wasn't. And I wasn't miserable. I was just like, I didn't realize how miserable I was until
you came out of the hole.
I'm still coming out of it.
But you see the light now?
I'm maybe like waist deep.
Okay. I'll take waist deep.
I will say, and I think I said this to you the other day. Thank you. Because if listen.
Because we got plans.
Listen. If I would be happily just like, okay.
No.
Yeah, I need to be outside. I say I want to be outside, but I don't go outside.
No, we about to be outside. We're doing this everywhere. We about to be outside.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm gaining it back.
I'll help you. Don't worry.
I'm balancing it. That's all. This freaking eyelash, guys.
It's just one. I want you to know it's been pointing down the whole time.
This one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I want a milkshake. Anyway.
Ooh. I was trying to stay away from the sweets, but.
Well, what if we share one?
I could do that.
Okay.
I'm still hungry though. I don't know how, but anyway. Side note.
Sorry. So, okay. So now my question for you, not really, but my question for all of you out there in the real world. If you could pass advice on to new moms or moms to be, or people thinking about being moms, what's the advice that you would give them? And you can't just say have kids, they say, right? Can't just say that. It's a joy. It's a blessing. You're making life creation. No, be honest, right? What is one thing, one piece of advice, one thing of knowledge, one nugget you've gained to these new moms, moms to be, moms thinking to be?
I would say it's okay to live in the duality of loving your kids and not liking your kids. And not when I say not liking your kids, I mean in a sense where some days you it's just like a job, right? You love your job, but some days you wake up and you're like, I really don't really want to be here right now. I'm not in for it. I'm not up for it. I don't care for it. But at the end of the day, you still love what you do. Kind of situation. Now, I'm not talking about those jobs that you show up and you can't stand, because people have those. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like I love that I'm doing this now, right? I love that I'm my own person, working on my own time and creating every day. But then there are some days when I wake up, I'm like, I really don't feel like peopling today, because my job requires to be holding people's hands for 2 hours or more sometimes, and sometimes I don't feel like peopling, but I want to make my art.
I don't want to people.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like, I love my kids. I want to cuddle. But then some days I'm just like, I love you guys. Stay in the room. I want to be in the bed, just cuddling by myself with nothing. Sometimes, like, same way you love your husband, but sometimes you need your space. It's the same way.
I do.
And so it's okay. It took me a while to get to the space of not feeling guilt for not wanting to be near my kids.
Not all the time.
But not all the time. And that's okay.
I agree.
And it's okay to vent to people and say, hey, I don't like my kids today.
Because sometimes you won't, because they challenging you and try and toe the line that you made.
Yep. And that's okay. Do not feel that guilt. It's harder. It's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
But do not feel that guilt.
Okay.
Because you're still going to love your kids no matter what.
No, because they're your kids.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, no matter how they act, no matter what happens, right? You still don't love your kids. Okay, I appreciate that honesty. Thank you for that nugget.
You're welcome.
I'm not ready yet, but thank you for that nugget. One of these kids said, well, I'm going to be a mom soon. I told that kid to walk away from me. I have a mom voice, and I know I have a mom voice.
I heard it last week.
What did I say last week?
What are you doing? Get out that corner!
I don't even know when I said that. Yeah, I got it. I know I got it. It's there. It's within me. I don't need to be one right now, because I'm currently teaching kids from 2 to 18. And then my husband teaches kids from 18 to 27. So
you're not kids at that point anymore.
They definitely are still kids. So I'm good. I'm just saying.
I hope that helped. I hope that helped someone else. Let them know you're not.
It helped me.
You're not alone.
Oh, I love that song. I'm here with you, though you're far away.
I'm off beat.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm here
to stay.
I know the next line. Okay, anyway.
See you next time.
Absolutely. See you next time. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Hey, Wispies. Thank you for joining us for another hard-hitting girl talk. If you have a topic or question for us, send us a whisper at info@wineandwhispersclub.com. That's whispers with an S. See you next time, Wispies.